Greetings, friend. Welcome to another YouTube video of mine. A brief introduction if you are new here. My name is Monica Strange. I'm a content creator on TikTok, Instagram, more recently on Facebook, and I really don't know how to be a YouTuber. I just kind of fell into content creating some years back, and I have quite literally just been making it up as I go along, and it seemed to work out fine. I don't know. I think in total I have almost 200,000 people who actually follow me, and that's on like Instagram, TikTok, on Facebook, and on here. So I figure me not knowing what I'm doing is working out. In today's video in particular, I had been trying to find time and the energy to actually make this. However, it took weeks. Though my content is a little bit all over the place, I do make a lot of things with intention. So if I feel like my energy is not right, I am not going to try to sit in front of a screen and record something because I feel like the vibes are going to be off and nobody's going to feel it, right? So in today's video, I had been trying to make this for a good while. In a previous post or two back, I showed some of my favorite books that are within my collection. I have 4 bookshelves. Hopefully soon to be 5 because I have a lot more books that I need placing. Undoubtedly, I'm going to have to get a 5th one because I have about 30 books that I want to purchase and I have about a dozen books that need placement. But on my bookshelves, I have more than just books. I have a lot of things that I have collected over the years that are very near and dear to me. And so I thought in today's video, I could show you guys some of my favorite things. Most of the things that I'm going to be showing you in my videos today have been found in thrift stores or antique shops, just because I feel like those things are more one of a kind. I do have some things that were purchased at like more commercialized stores, but for the most part, I do try to find unique pieces, and over the years, I have definitely had a habit of just buying things whenever I find them because it's like I will never see this again, so I might as well just get it now. I understand that that is probably a terrible mentality to have, but I am who I am. Anyway. So in today's video, I wanted to show you some of these items in detail. I've had a couple of things are like behind me that I haven't pulled just yet to show. But on my desk here, I have a few things laid out, and then I'll go grab things throughout this video. So if you are interested in seeing kind of what everything looks like and all of that, stay tuned. To give you a sneak peek, I have some vintage star maps. I have some cute little art decorations. I'll show you some of the things that I got in Roswell, New Mexico, which I have a whole video that I have planned in my mind to make that I would really love to talk more about Roswell, because that is really the entire reason why any of this got started. Which I may tell you a little bit about as I'm showing you some of the items that I got in Roswell. I have some bookends that I'd like to show you, and yeah, so without further ado, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it and show you guys what I have. Okay, so first up is going to be the star charts that I have. Some of the things I do not remember where I purchased them at, so I will just give my best guess, but these two I remember it just like it was yesterday. So there's this one, and then there's this one. I got these both at an antiquities store called Magazine Antiques. It's in New Orleans, where I'm from. So in New Orleans, there are many different historical like buildings and historical buildings and landmarks and all of these things, because the entire city is just filled with such a culmination of all of these different things. And Magazine Antiques is one of my favorite places. I highly recommend it. If you are ever in New Orleans, like visiting for Mardi Gras, typically when people go, but just kind of for fun, I recommend Magazine Street, going there. And whenever I walked in, initially on input, there's quite a few different things going on because it's an antiquity store, so there's like dolls and clothing and stuff from like different wars and like all of these things. And there is to like the right, whenever you walk in, there's a display case that has like dolls, which I steer clear from. But there's also like a big bin of just different maps and everything. These, and all of the times that I've gone, these are the only star charts that I saw. Everything else is just kind of like just different parts of the world and different countries and everything. And so with this, it was just by chance that I came across them, and I'm guessing they were taken out of like pages from a book. But as you can see, I don't know if it's focusing. Okay, so it says World Atlas and Gazetteer, page 114. But it gives a lot of I don't know if the glare is so bad because it's in like a plastic casing. I took it out once and deeply regretted it, so I won't be doing that again. But it basically is just a way for you to chart out where different constellations are and everything like that. So I thought that was really interesting, but I have only ever seen these star charts and I purchased them immediately. I think they were about $10 each, maybe. They have $13. Map, $13. And I think they're both from around the same time, from the 60s. Maybe this one is like a little bit older. This one is the planets in 62, 63, and 64. So that's when I'm guessing that this was taken from. This one looks to be a little bit older just by like the page coloration. As you can see, it's two different colors. One is like that faded kind of brown beige, and then this one is a little bit more well put together. I did not take this one out. They're not laminated, it's just in like a plastic casing kind of. But okay, so those are the star charts. So this is actually taken from a bookshelf some time ago. And it is now resting on my bedside table, my nightstand, and it has never worked ever since I got it. I know I received this from an antique store or a thrift store or something. It has never worked since I purchased it. I don't know how to get it to work, and I'll never figure it out, but it is definitely the aesthetic. It's very heavy, and I try not to move it too much. Because of its weight. But this is what it looks like. It is so detailed and so beautiful. I don't know if it's going to focus on this. Let's see. There we go. Sorry if the focus was kind of out of frame for a little bit there, but this is what it looks like. And it's so beautiful. Me and decor kind of go way back. I love specialized pieces that you just really can't find anywhere. I feel like it adds a lot of character to the home, and my home is a space where I like to spend a lot of my time to decompress from the world, and so I like to fill it with a lot of things that are important and special to me, like things like this. I love time. I think time is completely, a concept and structure that, it just kind of is what it is. But I love clocks, and I had a pocket watch whenever I was deep in my Alice in Wonderland phase. I had a pocket watch that was that of the Time Lords from Doctor Who. I have not seen it in many, many, many years, so hopefully one day I'll find that again and I can show that to you. But yes, this is the clock. Next up, I have something very special from Roswell, New Mexico. So, as some of you may know, I love Roswell. Roswell, New Mexico was a place of just pure enchantment for me. Roswell was one of those places that was a core memory for me growing up as a child. I had only heard about it in photographs and documentaries. A quick overview of Roswell is back in the 60s on a farmer's ranch just outside of the city limits of Roswell. There was a UFO crash, and the lore of the town is that the UFO crash was not a weather balloon, as was second stated by government officials that came out to see it. It is a story filled with cover-up and mystery about visitors from another world. And this is on a very nice canvas, and I purchased this at my favorite antiquity store in all of Roswell. If you are ever in the area, there's only about maybe a dozen places that you can choose to go to that have antiques and things like that on Main Street. Most of all of the traffic in Roswell goes down those streets. And so, if you're ever in the area, that is actually where I get, or where I purchased my 2 UFO alien shirts that I wear kind of often. I wear them daily. I like to sleep in them, or sometimes I'll wear them out. But that is where I got those shirts from. They have antiques and stuff from local artists and everything. And I love it so very much. And it is such a special place to me. I went earlier this year. This is when I purchased this. I went earlier in the year, this year, after first visiting 3 years ago. And we all know 3 years ago what happened, but back at the end of 2019, I took a big road trip, and the first stop that I visited was Roswell. So that was the beginning of a really exciting adventure that led me to actually creating all of this. So we have Roswell to thank for a lot of what we see me doing now. So yes, I just wanted to share this. Next up, I have something else that I believe I purchased in New Mexico, but I'm not sure. Some of you may remember back whenever I first started my YouTube channel about 2 years ago now, I did a show and tell. So you may remember me seeing this, or showing this, I'm sorry. You may remember me putting this in a video before, but this now hangs on my wall. But this was found, this was taken, a picture of Sedona, a rock formation out there. I love the desert so much, and I found so much peace whenever I first visited all of the western states, or throughout the Southwest. So I saw this and immediately was called to it, and attached to the back of it was this note, and it was hard to kind of read the cursive handwriting. Like, some words are kind of all over the place, but I'll try it again for you guys. So it says, "Dear Jane, these red mountains at Sedona were really beautiful. We're at the Grand Canyon now. For someone who's never seen mountains much, it's really awesome. It's it's something, but I wish you were here. Talk to you next week. Love, Jane. Or love, Dane. I'm not really sure. But this was a postcard, I'm guessing. I'm guessing this was maybe from like a gift shop or something. But this says on the back, Comet Haley Bob is a once-in-a-lifetime celestial event combining science, beauty, and wonder. Photographer Michael Irvine made the event into an adventure following the comet's movements into the Sedona, Arizona nighttime desert sky. So this is just a postcard that they took out and sent to someone named Jane. So if anybody recognizes this, let me know. I don't. I'm guessing this was in 1997, if I could guess. So, yeah, I loved this so much, and seeing this, I was pleasantly surprised. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is one of my bookends. So, for those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, but I love whales. I think that they are just the most precious creatures. They're so massive and so beautiful. I've never seen a whale in real life, but I know that when I do, I am going to be crying like a baby. And so this bookend is something that I actually found at the store called At Home. It is a chain. There's some I saw in Louisiana, where I'm from. There's one or two that I saw out here in Texas, where I live now. And so if you go to At Home, you may find something like this. It was on clearance. I don't know why. I don't know if they discontinued it or if this one was damaged or what, but I think everything about this is perfect, and it definitely belonged on my bookshelf. So if you also love kind of different things like that, At Home has a lot of good selections. Sometimes their stuff can be on the pricier side, so I recommend checking on their clearance rack. I don't ever need anything to be perfect, not at all. I just need things to be different. So now I'm going to show you some of the nerdiest things that I have on my bookshelf. So both of these things were kind of dusty. I can't bring myself to part with either thing, even though this one is very broken. This broke during transit in my move. And yes, it is what you think it is. As you can see, it fell and broke in one of the boxes. I wonder if it still works properly though. That's okay. I think just because it's not even anymore, unfortunately, that means we can't really expect too much from it now. Eventually I'll probably get one of the Newton balls of gravity, I think it's called. Oh wait, look. This always reminded me of that show, Jimmy Neutron. Oh, wait. Before I let it go so it can twirl, I'm going to move this just a little bit more. Okay. So whenever it has all of its batteries, it'll just keep going all by itself. And you don't even need to do anything with it. The magnetism at the base here conducts up these little metal poles, and it makes everything twirl just right. But until then, you have to do it manually. The batteries in this that it takes are very weird. So let's see, we can do this. This is what it typically looks like. It's kind of like a ticking clock a little bit. But I think that it's cool. Yeah, this needs batteries and this needs just a whole new thing. I always was fascinated by science growing up, even though I never half understood any of it. I would write down equations. I was so interested in the mind of Einstein, and I was 8 years old, maybe 10. I always was just fascinated by all of the things I heard about in documentaries and read about in books. I always wanted to know more. I've always been curious. With the batteries, it just does all of this alone, but I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Anyway, so that's that. One of the last few things I'll show you. I also purchased this in Roswell. I think earlier I said in the 60s. It was actually in the 40s. I don't know why I said the 60s. But the crash happened in 1947. So I don't smoke or anything like that. I just really wanted this lighter because I thought it looked cool. And you know me. I love the aesthetic. I don't know if that sounds relaxing. If it does, I'll do it a couple of more times. You can fast forward if you don't like it. But it's just a regular lighter. I'm not good at lighting lighters. I have the long, like big candle lighters because I always burn my fingers. So like I said, this was literally only to look cool. Even though I'll never take it out of my house because I worry I'll lose it. But I got this at the International UFO Museum and Research Library. That's what it's called. In the gift shop. So if you go out there, you will find many, many fun things. Now, this, for any of my fellow Whovians in the chat, this is a tea light type thing. A tea light goes in here. I lost the top to this. Either I lost it or it never came with one. Unclear. But I got this at MechaCon last year. It was the last year that they were ever doing MechaCon, which was a anime convention. I had never done anything like that before, and I really wanted to go. And so it was really nice to see so many people just getting together over a common interest. And please excuse any noise in the background. I feel like every time it records, it rains. I'm gonna take that as a good sign. But I got this at TIMECODES, and it came with a little light that could light up any color you wanted, and I picked yellow, and I lost the tea light the same day. I got that. I met quite a few of my favorite characters from a few animes that I watch, or that I've watched in the past. I don't really keep up with anything new that's kind of coming out. I pretty much have the mentality of just sticking to the same TV shows over the years, and every now and then I'll try something different, but my default is always to my comfort shows and my comfort watches. So yeah, it's pretty detailed. I don't know if it's focusing again, but I think it was just pointed on some of it, but it's kind of, there's some half carvings in this, and you may be wondering what these little things are. And to answer your question or your curiosity, these are plant ties. So what you do is take as many as you need, 1 or 10, well, maybe not 10, but 1 to maybe 4 or 5, and you twist them around to make a larger kind of encapsulation. And this is great for plant support. I also have little stakes that go inside of my plants to help keep them upright. So yeah, it just kind of helps provide support for the plants. I have many, and I look forward to getting more soon. Now, I just thought that this would sound really nice. I plan on getting paintbrushes eventually, new paintbrushes eventually. I've had these for years. I don't paint on any type of level beyond kindergarten. Like, I do not paint well at all. I just enjoy seeing the colors and doing something kind of soothing and relaxing. But this is one of the things that I purchased at an antique store. There's, I believe I actually got this also from Magazine Antiques, but it was some type of holder. It has a top that goes to it, and it's some type of holder that has gold. It's just gold encapsulated. It's not real gold or anything, like, I don't believe so anyway. I swear to God, I could have some very priceless heirlooms and stuff with all of the decor I have, and I'll never know, nor do I think I would ever part with it. But I just decided to store my paintbrushes in here one day, and so yeah, that's just kind of where I kept everything. So to end this, I wanted to tell you guys how much I appreciate all of the love that I have received, and just such nice things that people have told me about my journals that I have now. This venture, this thing that I've done, I don't think I could have ever done this without you. I would have never been brave enough. It is such a joy having these, having created something like this. From the bottom of my heart, just want to thank you for being here and for watching. These go to various different places. I take them with me in my bag sometimes, not all of them, but one of them in my bag with me, in case I feel like writing something and not putting it in my phone or something like that. So, thank you for being here and all of that. So, that is what is on my bookshelf. Thank you for watching. I attempted to do a live stream the other day on TikTok where essentially I was going to be reading a bedtime story to you. However, the live kind of got a little bit chaotic because I was reading a book by Dolores Cannon and I thought it was going to be a smooth read, but I got too excited about it. So yeah, if you were curious to see how that turned out, a little bit less relaxing, or actually a lot of it less relaxing, I have everything linked in the description below. If you are wanting to follow me, for example, on like my other socials or anything like that, check out my space shop and podcast and all of that stuff. Everything's going to be linked below. Thank you again for watching this video. I just so very appreciate you, and so yeah, I hope that you have a stellar day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.